because I digress, seeing her little daughter in here, so innocent. And I think about how innocent my children are and how I have to keep them away from television. Even, Christian friends and people, I can't really send them over to be at people's houses if they watch television at all because of what's on it. I can't even really let them go to my parents and watch a football game because of the ads. You're like, oh, come on, it's not a big deal. My parents aren't, but other people are like, I can't be in a pizza place with my children with the TV on, with the stuff that's there now. HBO is coming out with a primetime show called Angry Boys that shows little girls who are so innocent and so good with giant sex toys sucking on them. I mean, what else am I supposed to say? This is what they put on television. It shows giant cups that are the shapes of men's genitals. And this is what they do. And I can't even get into the rest of it here on air. It gets worse. On adult radio, and it's such a crime. This is attacking innocence. That's what the sex ed is. They're not trying to teach in public schools worldwide under UN standardization. It's all UNESCO. It's the same from Australia to the US, from Germany to Denmark. It's global standardization. They don't teach you, hey, if you have sex, you can catch these diseases like they tell you they do. No. It was all about how to have sex. And I'll tell you, when I was sitting there in middle school with sex education, all it was making me do was look over at the girl next to me and her look over at me. All it was doing was sexualizing and destroying innocence of people in the 6th grade. But now they've got it down to first graders, and it's all been covered. And they say, oh, you're just being homophobic. Hey, I don't care if it was homosexual, heterosexual, whatever it is. You don't teach children, period. 5, 6, 7-year-olds. Heather has 2 mommies. Billy has 2 daddies, all this. This is what they teach children. And then they teach them stuff that I didn't even know about sexually until I was in college. Stuff I've never even heard of as an adult. They teach children, and now you watch everything on television. It's anti-male, it's wussification, women run everything, it's degeneracy, everything's a joke. They're turning us into animals that can't resist, and all the violence, it desensitizes people. The studies show it. People can't differentiate all the simulated murders in video games and television with the real thing. So it's like, oh, where'd the neighbor go? Oh, they arrested him. Oh, yeah, they killed the neighbor. He's dead. They burned his house down. He wouldn't give it to the feds for a green zone. And then reporters show up and try to walk into city council. They go, no, you're not allowed to come in a public building. There's no law. We got guns. Why don't you go watch HBO where they take 6-year-old girls? I mean, folks, these are little bitty innocent girls. It makes me feel very violent. I'm going to be honest with people. I'm going to go to your calls here in just a moment, and later I'm going to get into this. But it is so over the top. But see, soon it won't be. They just always take a little more until in the United States, on cable TV, they have children doing things that, according to federal law, are illegal. They've tried to pass laws that I believe are unconstitutional, even though I do find these practices disgusting and distasteful, of drawings of underage sex. And there's a reason cultures have all gone after people that mess with children. A, it's unnatural. B, it's predatory. It's preying on the most defenseless and the heart of humanity. This war on children, all these sitcoms and dramas act like it's terrible to have children. You'll get some empty, mindless yuppie come up and laugh at you. I've had it in grocery stores for having 3 children. People that I know that have 5 or 6 get harassed. Because these people, it's their religion, that television's their friend, those messages on TV are their friend, and they have this gibbering disdain in their false reality for those of us that actually are part of the human race and part of consciousness and part of reality. And so, demonize men, demonize the family, demonize people that are straight, See, it's not just, oh, don't attack people that are into alternative lifestyles. No, it's attack people that are straight. The globalists say, if we can ever end the normal human cycle and create an artificial one, we've won. It's a revolution against humanity and our basic system by control freaks that want to play God. And where does communism come from? It comes from the Jacobins and other Illuminati groups. I mean, mainline history books, Illuminati, Jacobins, France, French Revolution. This is real history. George Washington wrote and spoke on this. Okay? I mean, this is history. After our revolution, they have their own. And let me tell you, it was pure Illuminati. Totally different than ours. Fashioning itself off what George Washington did on the surface, but beneath the surface, they tried to go to a 9-day week. They tried to change the seasons. They tried to end families. They tried to, oh yes. Marx and Engels didn't write the Communist Manifesto. That had all been pushed under other names. The Rothschilds openly financed it all. They financed the Jacobins. And it was not about overthrowing the church and kicking out the monarchy. It was about overthrowing humanity and making themselves God. And by the 1850s, they'd hired most of the top scientists to come up with plans to totally take over society and re-engineer it. And that's what this is. And now California is set to pass a bill, just like the one they passed last year, to forcibly inoculate your children without your knowledge. I mean, that is total assault. That is totally illegal. That is, I don't care if you pass a law. I mean, that is tyranny. It isn't just going to stop with highway checkpoints and hands down the pants. It's not going to just stop with inoculations of your children. It got thrown out of federal court 3 years ago, but California lower courts ruled the parents are no longer the guardians, and when your child is in public school, that you cease to be the guardian and the state is now the guardian, even when your child's out of school. And that homeschooling is illegal because parents are not allowed to be guardians. And it did get overthrown. It did get overturned, but I'm telling you, man, look, these people are hardcore scientific authoritarians, and they mean business. Now, they've got armies of pedophiles that work for them because they're given access to children. They've got other criminal groups. They've got different brigades of different types of crime groups that they can destroy whenever they want, that they can blackmail, who are given access. You want drugs, you want money, you want power, you want to torture people, you want to rape children. They've got different brigades, but their strongest brigade is the potbelly pedophile brigade. And it's just an archetype. It's a potbelly pedophile brigade. Or the butch pedophile sadomasochistic torture brigade. They've got that brigade. They've got the mercenary brigades. They've got the torture brigades. They've got the control freak brigades. They've got the Dudley Do-Right danger brigades who actually think they're doing good and are so stupid they just worship authority. That's another dangerous brigade we face. And it's a psych warfare thing on HBO. I mean, I don't even watch mainline television. Anytime my wife watches it, she's just like, my gosh, it's all anti-family. It's all get abortions, kill babies, world government, take vaccines, arrest those that don't. And cops watch TV where they arrest people who don't take vaccines in dramas. There's no law, but then they simulate it. So when they're taking your kid, they're like, well, I mean, the sitcoms, the dramas. Folks, I'm talking over the years, we've identified dozens and dozens of cases on shows without even looking where they take kids for not taking vaccines. And so it must be in hundreds. I mean, the point is they simulate and show you things that aren't real, and then everyone follows it. This is called mind control. This is mind control. They've got 110,000 plus U.S. active duty combat on psychotropics that they know is causing them to kill people and their families, and epidemics of suicides. The drug inserts they give troops for being depressed says will cause suicide. Can cause suicide. I mean, that's what I mean. It's like children on HBO with giant sexual organ toys with candy and drinks in them with the children. I mean, it is so sick, man. This is how pedophiles get kids in cars, is with candy. And they've got kids with candy and soft drinks, drinking it out of giant artificial male sex organs. I just, and again, it's going to get crazier and crazier and crazier. This is a total assault on humanity. And then I read the media, and they're like making fun of conservative and Christian groups that think this is bad. And I'm telling you, folks, you know, I don't want violence in this country. I've done everything I can to try to stop it and try to turn things back. But do not try to come and give my children inoculations secretly, or if they were in a government training camp. And they want to bankrupt the economy, which they've done, so you basically have to have them in there. The, quote, free education paid for with the property tax that turned us all into renters on our own property. We didn't have that until 60 years ago. Churches weren't 501c3 until 60 years ago or so. It's a total overthrow of everything. But do not get around my children, you pedophiles, and don't try to shoot anybody up. Let me tell you, you think you're all dug in and you know you're starting to fight with us so the cops are all in body armor and armored vehicles? That's not going to mean anything when you mess with people's kids, okay? And you enforcers out there need to decide what side you're on, man, because it could not be clearer how ridiculous this is. I don't think we have HBO on our Dish network out in the country, and we don't even really use it. We should just cancel it. It's incredibly clear. Hi, it's nice HD. It's good to watch science programs with my kids, but that's always got some anti-human brainwashing in it. Everyone should dump HBO. I mean, in fact, I'm calling for a boycott of it right now, but that's not enough. They should, I don't care if they say it's a comedy show. They have real children who they got their parents, I guess, who want to be stars or whatever, and stuck them in this, and they need to be arrested, okay? They were trying to train children and desensitize them and associate candy with, they are ruining these. This is illegal. 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 And I just, again, they're pushing us. They want the fight. They want the fight. And, you know, once the fight starts, it's going to be indiscriminate. Because let me tell you something. You either better join the Republic if this thing goes physical, or you better get ready for punishment and judgment. That's all I can say. Because let me tell you, you're a part of this system. When all this stuff goes down,